Andrea from WellAndrea, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of being okay with good enough versus chasing perfection, because I think that is really essential for long-term sustainable fitness success. And I think oftentimes we are programmed when it comes to exercise, when it comes to life, to pursue perfection, and really there is no such thing as perfect, because things happen and we have to adapt. And I think the really important thing in the end is not to give up. If we take a break, we come right back to it when we're ready to. And also realizing that every little bit of whatever we do, be it in life, be it for exercise, adds up, and it is never wasted. I think that is really important. So I wanted to give some examples, what you can do, what good enough may look like. And I think especially in the summertime, this can be really important because our schedules change. We could have a heat wave like right now, many parts of the country, of the world. Kids are out of school, our schedule, changes, all sorts of things. And so personally, I do adjust for that. I plan my summer sort of differently than the rest of the year. But there's still things that come up that are sort of not, I can't predict. And so for me, it all comes back down to the 4 cornerstones of my movement practice. And so the first one is just to make sure that I move throughout the day and that I don't sit or be in one position for too long. The second one is cardiovascular work. And when it gets super hot, my walks are not as long. They may be very early in the morning, very late at night. But I won't get as many steps outdoors. One thing that is really helpful is just a very short HIIT workout, for which you don't need any equipment. So for example, you could do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and just 3 exercises: jumping jacks, jump squats, heel kicks. You just repeat them for a couple of rounds. You can do rounds with about 7 sets or so, and that should take you about 5 minutes. You do that 2 rounds or 3 rounds, or if you are new to it, start with 1 round. And that can be a very effective way for you to train your cardiovascular system, and you get the benefits of jumping, which is great for your bones and other things. And I also do always some strength training. In the summer, I actually prefer to do that at the gym. Now that I have a gym membership again, but I did not have a gym membership for 5 years, almost, 5 years. And so I did work out at home. I do have quite a nice collection of dumbbells at home, but even just a few sets will do. And you can always do body weight exercises as well. Push-ups, body weight squats, lunges, so many things you can do at home as well. And if you do have free weights, I would suggest that you try to hit all the major muscle groups. But you can do this in a circuit style workout where you, for example, do an upper body exercise followed by a lower body exercise. And so you can get really a lot done in about 20 minutes. And So the other day, my husband and I, we were at the gym. We had a lot of time. We really didn't have anything else to do. And we spent an hour and a half for a full body weightlifting workout. And it was great. And it felt luxurious because it was. And, you know, so an hour and a half in the gym, driving there, driving home. So that was 2 hours. Now, many days, I don't have those 2 hours. And I would argue I can get a quite good workout in 20 minutes. Will it be as good? No, probably not. But it actually will help me get stronger. It will definitely help me preserve my muscle, but it really also will help me to get stronger, and if I train for it, to get some hypertrophy. So, you know, 20 minutes, an hour and a half. I think that 20 minutes can be much more effective than we think, right? Because sometimes we also have these ideas what a workout looks like. It has to be an hour or an hour and a half in the gym. It really doesn't. All right, and then mobility, stability, flexibility. Those I really usually work into my movement breaks, and I like to work at one joint at a time, and that usually works really well. So, you know, when it comes down to it, I think what is really important is to remind yourself that every little bit of movement and exercise adds up, and that it doesn't have to be all at once. I know for a long time I had this idea that I couldn't break up my workout. Now we know that it's actually the opposite, right? It's actually a good idea to break up your workout, and to get movement in throughout the day. And so I think this, for a lot of people, this takes some getting used to. And I think, you know, keeping track of that somehow can also be really helpful, because when we see at the end of the day, oh wow, I accomplished all these different things, even though I didn't go to the gym at all, I couldn't go to the gym, but, you know, I did all these other things. So, you know, another thing that I think is oftentimes completely underrated is, you know, getting as many steps in, indoors, for example. So at work, at several places where I used to work, they were big buildings, multiple stories. There was always a staircase I could walk. I never went to the bathroom on my floor. I always went either all the way up or all the way down, or, you know, so I got some stairs in there. I walked down long hallways, and, you know, it didn't take all that long to get there. It's not like that I didn't get my work done. I did get my work done. I was very efficient. And probably more efficient because I actually got some movement in and I didn't sit the whole time. So, you know, doing those things, you know, walking indoors in buildings, for example, that can be very, very valuable, and definitely counts, definitely adds up. And if you are at work for 8 hours or something, and you get up and, you know, just get some movement for 5 minutes every hour. Maybe it's not every hour, maybe it's not 5 minutes, but it really adds up at the end of the day. And I think we sometimes don't realize that. Anyway, I hope that this summer you are going to be okay with good enough, and that you realize that every little thing adds up, and that you can get a really good workout in a short amount of time, that not every workout has to be perfect, that it won't be perfect. There will be days you don't feel good. There will be days when you are way weaker than you should be, right? You did everything right. You recovered, you did everything and all of a sudden you're super weak. And that's okay. That is part of the process. I hope you have a great day. Keep moving and be okay with good enough.